do the little shift. All right. And we are live Sunday night with those guys. And Sunday night with those guys is sponsored by
Those guys.
guys.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How are you,
What's
Herman?
good?
How
What's
are you,
good? What's
sir?
good? Same old, I'm just here, every day. Every day I'm
I
here.
know it's funny because I go, yo, Herman, what's up? And you're like, what else is up? The same, the same thing. All
Every
right.
day.
It's not like you can get around or get around for much or it's with this pandemic thing. Not a whole lot of people are getting around, right?
Well, that's actually, that's not what's holding me back because
Hey, Michael Blade.
when they started allowing people to move around, we were going out and we were flying, but right after that, as soon as we got out there and was doing a little flying, I got that call that I had to go have the surgery on my ankle. So,
I
that's
know that was
that's what's
kind of
really been keeping me out.
yeah, that was
So,
kind of strange because hey, Desmond Donders, how are you, sir?
well, it is and it isn't. I tell you why, because I knew that anytime that, they would open up, they were going to start back doing surgeries at the hospital that they were going to call because they canceled it. I was scheduled
Right.
before the coronavirus caused the city to lock down. So, you know, so so that's
Oh,
what
you
that's
made
why.
it by the skin of your teeth then.
Well, no, like I said, I was scheduled before the coronavirus caused everything to lock down in the city. So once they started canceling surgeries, they canceled mine, and I knew that once they started doing them again, they were going to call me. So that was that.
Okay. How's everybody doing in the chat there?
What's
How are
good,
you? Welcome back
David?
to another episode number 75 of Sunday Nights with those guys. And I'm gonna try
Is
and
that
keep it,
David?
huh?
Is that David?
Drone Evolution, what's up, man? You know you got an invite, man. Get in here because we need to talk some FPV stuff. Because I want you to show that FR7. There is a frame, Herman,
Yeah.
that puts the GoPro. You see how the GoPro here is on top of the on top? Well, the
Uh-huh.
standard birds, the GoPros are on top. But
Right.
this 7-inch bird called an FR7 has
Hmm.
the GoPro mount on the bottom here,
So
and
you land on the GoPro?
the FPV camera is on top.
Hmm.
So Justin has one
So
of
the
those things
GoPro is actually in its face.
in
Excuse
his space, right? The GoPro is here along the body, right
me.
here. It's
I mean,
FPV.
even that one that you have right there. I mean, they fly fast as hell, but that's like a aerodynamic nightmare.
Oh yeah, because now when it
No, I'm
hits,
talking about
first thing
even
to hit
even that right
camera.
there, because the camera is up there catching wind.
Yeah. Well, that FR7 is a long range bird. When I say long range, there's a group on Facebook called Mountain Surfers, long range, mid to long range mountain surfers.
Hey, what's up,
And
Sean?
these guys, Sean, I forgot you. I feel so bad.
Wow,
Compose.
Sean, I send you an invite every week. I mean, sometimes you come on, sometimes you can't. But he forgot you.
Yeah, we would love to have you on here. We're gonna have a few people on here tonight. I already sent Tom the invite. Um, yeah, I sent Tom the invite. I sent who came in like the last 5 minutes, Captures Life Connections, Stevie Bronx, Stevie from the Bronx.
Uh-huh.
So I told him to come in about 5:30 or so. Tom already has an invite.
Okay.
Justin, the usual people. Paul, he's probably out flying somewhere
Is he? Because I don't know how the weather
or
is.
sleep.
So,
Oh, wait,
so
stop. Put the ring down. Stop.
what happened?
You went like this and a glint got in my eye.
Oh no, I mean I was just adjusting my glasses. You know, I got.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And then and a glint got my eye from one of those rocks in there. But
Oh,
okay.
and you know how they call it? It's called the 10 table ring.
Carpenter Rick, how are you, sir? And good evening
Rick,
to you.
what's good, man?
Good evening and good morning, because I've come to find out that we are developing a following in Australia. Feet on the Ground, which is my boy Rob from my 3DR
Right.
solo days, Tim Jackson. There's about one or two more other people that
I
actually
like
listen
Tim
to us.
Jackson. He's a really funny guy. I
Huh?
like, I like
Yeah,
Tim Jackson.
I know. I gotta get, hold on. You know what? I know he's getting ready to go to work. Let's do this. I'm gonna send him
You
an invite.
know, I like Tim. He's a funny guy. He's on
Tim Jackson.
comes on with Roger a lot on
Here we
Canadian
go.
Drone Hub,
Yeah.
and I was over there with him once. You know,
All
when he
right.
was,
I
because
sent him an
they
invite.
were harassing him about his chair. If you look at
About what?
his chair, his computer chair, he's got a racing
Oh,
style chair, and
oh,
you know the racing style chairs, kind of have sort of like it's similar to the shape at the top of an ace of spades, but some people see it as other things because of the top
yeah,
being rounded.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I wanted to point out that it seems we're going to get through this pandemic thing.
Really?
What I mean by that is, even though it's on, I have to stop looking up because this is real time. And down here's the chat. I got to look here at the camera. And the reason is because even though United States is on the incline and certain countries are still climbing as
Mhm.
far as deaths and stuff like that, New
Yeah.
York has proven you can get through it.
Well,
Now,
I
we
mean,
have gone up 1%. At one time, we were at 85 to 87% of people dying and getting sick. And
what's
now
up,
we've
Recovery One?
gone from -1 to 1%.
Joe
What were you
Life
going to say?
RC. Huh?
Recovery One, how are you, sir?
Well, like I was gonna say, is that we as a country, the United States of America, could have had a united
El Smeghead.
decision on how to handle it, and we would have all been in the same place right now. But because we had our constitutional rights and our freedoms
Stop it.
imposed upon,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Freedoms. Drone Life RC, how are you?
things are different across the country.
Click that like button. There's too many of you guys there in the chat that haven't clicked the like button yet. And yes,
Okay,
we can
let
tell
me
who
let
you
me
are.
click the like button. I just clicked it.
Untitled, untitled. Roger, how are you, sir? You know,
Roger,
you
yo,
know,
Roger, that
Roger.
last
Hold it,
video,
hold it,
bro.
hold it, hold it, hold it. Roger, I'm sending you an invite now. You must come on. I have to tell you this to your face.
Yo, that last video, Roger. Mm,
Yes, yes. He put his foot
Roger,
in
I,
it.
I, like that one.
Roger, you must come on at least for
I
five
like
minutes.
that one.
I'm sending you the link right now.
I like that
You
one.
should get it in a few seconds. You have to come on, even if it's for 2 minutes, man. You have to come on because
I,
you have impressed me.
I
If
really
if
like that one,
if
Roger.
you have not, if you have not seen Roger's last video, and I feel kind of to blame for this because I kept saying, Roger, when are you going to cross the street? When are you going to cross the street? Well, God damn it, he crossed the fucking street
And kept on running.
and kept going and kept going.
Well,
Seriously,
I know Roger's situation up there. Roger has, it's a rough time up there for him to get to fly because he gets invaded by snow every other day
mm,
from the fall straight through the winter.
I
And,
know.
and then in the summertime, it's just like it turns a switch on and just like the oven comes on up there and he starts baking. So he got very little time to fly, and then Rogers had some issues with some of these Wi-Fi drones that he's had, and now he's really got himself, a nice little big boy toy. So I see in that last video, Roger, he was out there. He was out there.
Well, I'm actually talking to Recovery One right now in the chat.
Okay.
I want him to come on the
What's
panel.
up, Matt?
I
Big
want to
Matt.
show him. I want to show him some love and bring him on the
Drone
panel.
worship.
Here's Roger. Here's Roger right now.
What's up, drone
Okay.
worship? Big Matt.
Follow those instructions, Recovery One. Make sure the chat is muted. I mean, make sure the chat room is muted, and then and then you can come in. You need a camera and a laptop, or you can do it from your phone. Don't worry about it. Or but put in headphones. That'd be best. Well, from your phone, you can't be in the chat. So I hope you're on a PC, but you'll figure it out. Anyway, Rod, hold on,
Ah,
Roger.
Roger.
I have to hold my FPV drone up to you. You did your thing in that video, and it wasn't a complicated video. All you did was fly in a straight line, and the fact that you did that so elegantly and freely
And then he zoomed in and pulled back, and I'm like, oh,
was
look out.
yeah. I saw him trying to get a little fancy with the camera too. All I can say is, Roger, welcome to the house of big boys.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, Roger, because now you're gonna find out you don't want to just stand over the house anymore. You want to go here. You see something, you want to go there and stuff. So I had to congratulate you seriously. I'm so proud because I watched your evolution in drones. And
Hey, Chris, what's good, man?
in about a year or two, Roger, you're gonna look back at this video that you just did and cringe. Will you tell him, Herman?
Yeah,
Will you tell him
I look at
when you
stuff that I did, then
your
I was
first
like, you know
videos?
what? I'm good.
Yeah. If you go back and you look at your videos that you used to do, I cringe at my early videos. I tried to
Although,
do reviews, all of that stuff, and now I'm like, if it didn't have so many thousands of views, I would probably delete it.
you know what? You know what's funny about that, Lars? My first video that I ever shot, right? Every time I go back to that park, I take off the same damn way.
Yeah,
Straight up
that's
over the trees, out over the creek. The
mm-hmm.
same way every time I go to that park.
It's we're creatures of habit. But Roger, what made you now you did fly that manually.
Yeah.
I could tell you I could tell you flew it manually because if it was in return to home, it would have been a different, it would have
It would have
the
did the whole.
characteristics would have been different. So
It
for those of
would
you out there that fly somewhere, here comes Recovery One drones. For those of you that fly drones out there and think you could psych out Herman and I by hitting return to home
Yeah.
and flying back, well, that's not going to happen because we will blow you up and tell you to take that bitch out of return to home and fly it manually like Roger did.
What's up, recovery?
What's
What's
up,
Practice.
Draymond? Everyone,
Oh, I'm famous now.
Yeah.
Recovery One. How
Hey,
are
how
you,
you doing,
sir?
Recovery?
what's going,
I'm
man?
good. I appreciate the invite.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Oh, no problem. Actually, I'm honored. You know, I gotta pop my collar here. I'm dealing with the New York City
Oh,
boy.
we
Yeah.
have a thing here. I'm sorry, I have not been looking at the chat. Chris Hope, how's everyone? I have like multiple windows up. When you do live streaming, you'll find out you do this stuff. Drone worship, what's good? How is everyone? But we got Recovery One drone on here because he's been grinding. He's been grinding. He. You know how we do, Roger. We bring someone in under the wing, and
Yeah.
then after a while you got to open the wing up because they're getting too big, and just let them,
Oh,
you
that's not
know.
the case
So
here.
support each other. That's how we do. That's how we
Yes,
do. El
yes.
Smeghead, what's going on? How are you, sir? But we were complimenting Roger on his last video because Roger crossed the street. I would always tell him, Roger, I would love to see you cross the street. Roger, I'd love to see you fly to the next field. And how far was that trip, Roger?
Oh, it wasn't too far that one for that tower. I drove. I had to drive just over the overpass here and parked my car there and drove from there. Flew from there.
No, but I'm saying how far were you away From Roger popped
About
his distance cherry, Draymond.
good half a mile.
Okay. When I say he popped his distance cherry, Roger was the person who flew. He was happy to go up and fly in his field and stuff like that. And I would be like, dude, you see that telephone antenna over there that looks like a pencil? If
But
I was up there, I would be trying to
you
fly
saw,
to.
you saw the church one, right? When I flew around the church.
Yes, yes.
That
This
was,
is what I'm
that was
saying.
pretty
You
fun.
you're expanding your horizons, and you're learning how to fly.
Hmm.
Now because you're actually flying.
But now, actually, I got a drone that doesn't lose signal halfway
Yeah,
there. You know what I mean?
that's what I was saying. Oh, see, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I got another video, Lawrence.
I've been keeping up with him. Roger came into the class of the big. We would like to welcome Roger to the party, because now he can say that he is a drone. He was always a drone pilot, but now he's a distance flyer, because that's how it
Congratu-
starts. It starts with a quarter mile.
Congratulations, Roger.
It starts with a half mile. So, Draymond? How are you, sir? And
I'm
what's up?
doing great.
Hey
You know,
guys, I'm going to step back because I'm going to go have my supper. So
Hey,
I'll
Hey,
um,
thanks for
Karen,
coming. I just wanted to thank you, Roger, for putting that video out, and I had to give you kudos, dude. Dude, you didn't do nothing crazy. You didn't do nothing dangerous. You flew like a drone pilot should fly, and you had fun doing it.
true, true.
Okay, just keep it up and stay safe, fly safe.
Right,
Roger.
Roger. Hey,
I'll be,
Roger, you didn't hear
I'll be
from Paul,
posting.
have you?
I'll be
Huh?
posting their video.
Yes, I did message him, but I haven't heard from him.
Bye,
So I hope.
everybody.
All right, Roger. Later, dude.
Right.
Nice meeting you, Recovery One Drone.
hey, good meeting you in person. I say Zoom wise, Roger, and congratulations. But believe me, distance flies now all what it's cracked up to be.
Yep, yep.
I have a story to tell if Lawrence will let me.
Go for it. Go
On
for it, man.
Evolution, have a good one.
I've been dabbling with literally the last couple of days since I've been on vacation, and I set up this waypoint mission
Mhm.
close by my
In
house on a
Lychee?
railroad
All right,
track
Roger.
in Litchi, yeah. And this thing take off is flying great, and all of a sudden I lost signal, and I kind of got a little panicky, and I said, okay, what happened here? Because I just saw a tanker for the firefighting thing fly over the same area I was flying. So I'm thinking maybe these guys disrupted my signal or something. So I'm getting a little nervous. I jump in my daughter's car. I drive out to the main road thinking my bird has landed on the railroad tracks and a train is coming down the tracks at the same time. But what happened was the bird got signal again with the transmitter and flew right on my head back to the house. So I got to beat it back to the house now before the bird lands. So when I pull the footage, this thing maintained the whole mission, even with disconnected signal.
Mhm.
I was impressed.
But
Still
but
maintain the signal.
you said you lost signal due to what? What
I
do you
don't know
think it
why.
was?
I don't know. I don't know. It could have been the tanker. It was flying kind of low. We get the fires over there in Azusa, which is about 45 minutes to the
Okay.
west of me, and it's
Okay,
flying that
you're on the
route.
West Coast there. Hey,
Yeah, I'm on the
FPV
west
Phantom.
coast, and
Okay.
I say I kind of got a little unnerved. Drove out along Cahoon Boulevard, and the transmitter caught signal again, and the bird just I already pushed the return to home button on it, so it got it and took home. So I pulled the SD card when I got back to the house. I looked at the footage, and even when it disconnected, the bird maintained the mission all the way through.
Hmm.
I was quite impressed with that guy. I know you can have it set to do that, and
Hmm.
I don't know if I remember I said it or not. I thought I said return to home when it lost signal, but it continued all the way through.
Oh, so it actually, when you lost signal, it did the waypoint missions and then
Yes,
went home.
yes.
See,
Now,
the
Litchi was always good for waypoints,
Lychee,
especially on some of the older stuff.
Hmm.
Ray uses
Yeah,
Cool
'cause I
Big. He
hear now
uses Lychee.
they're looking for beta testing and stuff like that on some of the new stuff. I don't know the mini and something else. I'm not sure, but
Right. I think Dan Drone Worship's in here. He's been doing some beta testing for the Mini,
right.
for the Litchi, and also he's dabbling with the Drone Link, which I guess came out in the last year, and he's asked me some questions about it. So I'm trying to work with both of them, just from my standpoint, working with the older
Okay.
birds and some of the newer birds with it.
Now, question: well, apparently using Lychee and just getting Lychee, you're not you're not fearful of doing waypoints and you've done them before, but how is doing waypoints in Lychee different from doing waypoints in any other way? I mean,
Uh, I've used drone deploy and I've used Pix 4D, but those are just buildings I'm standing, within 100 yards of. So there's no fear of a fly off or anything like that. I never had any problems with the lychee. It allows you to, you can do a little distance or you can do it local. And I wanted to see how accurate it was. 'Cause I used it about a month and a half ago when I went up to Merced, California, which is up in the Central Valley of California. And the gentleman I met up there was doing missions for a college up there, University of California, Merced. And I brought my Maverick 2 Pro up there, and he hooks it up to his litchi and let it shoot. And normally he has an Inspire, but the only thing we noticed then was that the Inspire had better GPS, I guess, connection online. We had to adjust the route for the Maverick 2 Pro so it wouldn't run into any trees or anything compared to what he had for his Inspire. So that's one thing I
okay,
knew before in the past.
okay.
Well, the one thing that I do know with Lychee that I found was a little different. Like when we're using DJI's app, you have to actually fly the mission first, unless you're using, I believe, the pilot app, if I'm not mistaken. And the where is that?
See,
Oh,
I haven't seen
where
or used the pilot app yet.
where you can go with. I think it was at one point it was only on Apple that you could set the waypoints on the map
Hey, Justin.
with DJI, and it'll fly the mission. I believe you can do the same thing with Lychee, set up the waypoints
She's on.
on the map, and it would fly the mission without you having to fly the mission and set the waypoints.
Yeah, Lychee lets you go on your PC, tablet, or laptop, and you can set the mission, the waypoints. Now, the only thing I was a little curious
Oh,
about
Snaghead says correct, Phantom.
is just the elevation.
Right.
Like I said, the elevation is something you got to be critical of, which I went in and found that out. That you hit a thing about above ground little tab. You click that little box, and it will give you two different elevations: the elevation that you started at, and the actual elevation between that point and the ground.
Mm.
You'll get two different numbers along the way as you make more waypoints. That was key to me because, like in that last video, I think Lawrence saw early this morning, where I did the little sunset along the train tracks.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
wanted that bird to fly just above the height of the rail cars. So I had to make sure I dropped the elevation because the grade of the ground there drops at about maybe a 8% downgrade. So I want to make sure the bird flows straight and level, adjusting for the elevation drop.
Okay, because El Smeghead says altitude can be set above ground, but remember
Right.
to compensate for buildings and trees.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Oh yeah.
is very crucial. I've seen some people who didn't calculate for trees and street lamps and
Right.
wires hanging between streets, and
Hmm.
there's a whole library of people who
Yeah.
didn't calculate that stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the next thing with DJI too. You got to make sure of the altitudes too when you're setting the waypoints, because it
Well,
will change on you.
I know I've seen some videos of people talking about using Google Earth and
Mhm.
kind of going through that to use the Litchi, and the Google Earth lets you know to compensate for the altitudes of the terrain itself.
Okay.
Eh. I, I hear exactly what you're saying, but that is trusting a little too much in technology because
Oh yeah.
me personally, I'd like to consider myself a professional slash professional first before recreational pilot. And I could tell you, in order to do waypoints, I need a physical eye on. There's nothing beats a physical eye on the path. If you walk the path or you fly the path with the drone, you get to mark. You can have a pad there and mark down. Okay, on this way from waypoint 3 to waypoint 4, it needs to raise an elevation, 200 feet, 100 feet, 75 feet, 10 feet.
Okay, watch what I'm gonna show you, Orange. I've done waypoints with DJI's app.
Right?
We're gonna go out one day with your drone. We're gonna
No, we're
set up a
not, because
waypoint
last time you
mission
tried that, if I
with,
remember the story,
with
your
your
drone
drone.
attacked you.
No. We're gonna set up a waypoint mission with your drone. All right.
Notice he says my drone.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I have no problem with it.
Okay.
Well, what we're gonna do is set up a waypoint mission with your drone, and we're gonna watch your drone. You're gonna set it up, and then you're gonna watch your drone fly it, and you're gonna get nervous and shit. You know why?
You're right.
Because it flies better than you.
You know what?
I don't
You
know
know what?
about that.
It flies better than you.
I would not doubt that. My problem is the reason I fly a drone is because I like to be in control.
Right, I get that.
As people who fly drones like to be in control. They have a control thing. So waypoints to me are taboo. If I have to set up a waypoint and I can't walk the entire path,
Mhm.
I will fly the drone that path and write down on a tablet, okay, 0.5, I have to be at 75 feet or so on, because it's I've almost hit lines by not flying a path
But
or walking the path.
if you're flying the mission, right? If you're going to those waypoints, your drone is not okay. You're gonna fly to this point right here, right? And you're gonna set the waypoint. And you're gonna turn the drone and go to the next one.
Yeah.
But the drone is not gonna turn like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna fly a natural, clean movement.
Yeah,
And you're gonna watch it.
move.
You're gonna
Hey,
watch
mods
it
and
take off.
hubs.
Like, wait a minute, I didn't take off like that.
Yeah, see, and that bothers me. Draven, you do a lot of do you do a lot of mapping, or you, if you don't mind asking, what do you do in an indirect way without giving up what you do?
Okay, no problem. I'm not trying to hide anything. I work for a city. I'm a construction inspector by trade. Erosion control is my specialty. I also know a lot about underground utilities and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay.
So I go out to these sites. I'm actually taking still photos for my purposes as an inspector. But while I'm up there, I'm like you. While I'm up like you, I burn a full battery. So why not get video, get some nice stuff?
Right about that.
Yeah.
You're right about that, Sugar
Yeah,
Honey.
so a lot of stuff you guys have seen me post as being out there. I might take pictures of everything from gravel bags to wattles to trenches and basins and things that are really not that interesting out. But it's a catalog for me that a lot of stuff that goes underground, once the asphalt or concrete gets laid over it, I may come back and do what we call a water quality management inspection a year later. I didn't know what's under the ground. That's the big difference. Remember what's under the ground. So this is how I build my catalog of each site I go to and what's going to be underground in case we have a failure. So that's the biggest thing when I'm out there. I'm like you. I like to be hands-on. Now I'm learning to use the waypoints because as I build this drone so-called business I'm trying to do on the side here, I know real estate, especially commercial real estate and large properties, they may already set up a whole waypoint mission for you to fly. You show up, they log you into their system, and your bird takes off. And that's how the deal goes sometimes. And that's what you kind of got to like go with the flow.
So basically, you're not liable because they programmed it, and if it's a computer term, garbage in, garbage out. So if they program something wrong, well, if it runs into something else, the problem is you are subjecting your bird to the risk also. So that's the only downside. But if they're telling you to come in and use their bird, you're just using their program.
Right.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what you got to worry about. I mean, other than that, I've used Drone Deploy, like I say, Pixel 4D. Those are pretty easy for roof inspections and even doing like you said, you're doing a construction site down the street from the house.
Yeah, in the town,
Doing a waypoint mission, that is how you get that progression thing down to a science to where all you got to do is as the project goes to different phase, as it rises up, all you got to do is change the elevation and the pitch of the gimbal.
That's
But the route will be the same. Goes the same route, everything else. So once you walk it or be out there, you fly it manually, then you can feel comfortable because you know what the hazards are. And that's what my biggest thing is. People go out, look around, and see where your natural and your man-made hazards are at. So forth.
Exactly. How does the third-party software impact the refresh, warranty, insurance, etc.? Because Geeks Vana is asking that because I don't know how it is in.
Well, I know with I
Give me a
can
second.
only
I'll be right
speak
back.
for something like with Lychee because DJI gives them the SDK.
Hey, Stevie, get in
to
here.
do this. This is something that has already been pre-worked out. That I believe that Lychee will be the one that would warranty you if you had an accident flying under their program. But they have there's no problem with DJI and you using that Lychee app.
Yeah, I wish DJI would upgrade their stuff to include it under the Go and Go 4 programs of having a stronger waypoint process because they do it as you fly, which is kind of ridiculous. You know, you need to be able to sit down on a computer or laptop or whatever and map it out and then do your adjustments from there because
I think that was done because it's more for consumer and
yeah.
and that's why on like the professional stuff you can do it on
Mhm.
the map like on Lychee.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was just based because it was all consumer based. You go and they just keep rewriting the same old thing from the original app straight through to the Go 4 app with
Right.
with the original Phantom series that ran on that app with the Phantom 3 and what was that the earlier Matrice series and the Advance and the Professional and the what is it the Phantom 4. And then
Yeah.
after that, everything went over to the Go 4 app.
Right.
But they've just been carrying over the same old waypoint from one setup to the other on their consumer drone.
I thought I was unmuted. I wanted to say real quick, mods and hubs. I went to go support your channel, but I'm already a supporter of your channel. Everyone, please support everyone. If you don't have them, support them. Plain and simple. What are you working on, Justin? I hear you chuckling, but I know you're working on something.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish the 7-inch long range and your
You're
drone.
very low.
Huh?
You're very low. I wanted you to come on
Oh, no.
because that's good. Because I wanted you to show Herman that FR7. You have the frame together yet?
No.
Oh. And then never mind, Herman. But the point, what I wanted to point out, the fact that the GoPro is on the bottom and the FPV camera is on top makes it even scarier when you're flying, because now when you're skimming across the ground where your FPV camera is, you actually have about 3-inch difference of well, I'd say about a 2-inch difference where you would be 2 inches lower. Now you have to compensate for that FPV camera, but we'll talk about that at another time. We got a little bit of drone news. I was waiting for Stevie Bronx to come in, Capture Life's connection, because last week he came in. He was having problems with issues. It was after the storm, and he was supposed to come on. He didn't get into like the last 5 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hey Lawrence,
I
I gotta
told him,
bounce to take my daughter to work, so I'll be back in a little bit.
okay,
Okay.
no problem.
We'll
No
be here.
problem. And so I told him to come in about 5:30. It's 5:32, so maybe he's starting up. Or if you're out there, Stevie, come on in, man. But I wanted to get in a little bit of drone news too.
Okay.
And Herman
You
brought this to my attention, so I think Herman should do it.
what? What did I
Well,
bring to your attention?
how the FAA has been fudging numbers on drone sightings.
Well, as far as that is concerned,
What do you mean
Yeah.
fudging numbers?
Well, there's an article that we both have. We don't want to give up the source because there are other stories on here, but it says
well, as far as this report that was done by, well, it was an article I was checking out here and a report that was done where they had found where, let me see, because I wasn't prepared to do this tonight. Yeah, the FAA has.
well, no, you don't have to go into detail because I have it pulled up, but just like a synopsis of.
Well, basically, what it is that it's on drone sightings,
Oh,
and I guess this would all basically, really, honestly and truthfully, would this might get better with remote pilot, with not with the not with remote ID. But what it is that the FAA doesn't substantiate the difference between bad drone sightings and good drone sightings. A
There you
drone
go,
sighting
man.
is a drone sighting. Basically, any sighting of a drone that is seen by a person and reported, the FAA keeps a record of it, and the FAA also has been, as they found in the report, basically what Pilot Institute and the AMA went over the FAA's finding, and they found that 3% of all of the
There you
drone
go.
sightings were near miss sightings. So of all of the drone sightings that they claim that they've had you know in a period of time, only 3% of them have come to be where they say that they were in near contact with aircraft.
Right.
In all actuality, what their report has actually found was that there are more uh, there are more collisions and impact with animals than with drones and aircraft in the sky. So basically, what I think the main issue for the FAA, really, truthfully, which is the study that they might want to check out, is the impact with animals and drones. Because if these animals are impacting planes as much as they are, you know, they also had a thing here. They didn't, I didn't go really get a chance to go over the report, extensively, but also it showed that there was a period of time. I'm not exactly sure how long the time is, but it shows that there was only like roughly a little over 650 reportings across the United States on drone sightings. You know, these things are quite funny because that's across the entire United States.
Yeah. Well,
Now, what I thought was interesting was they said that in 2019, 6.76% decrease in drone sightings overall.
right. And more people are flying, but there's a decrease in drone sightings.
Well,
yeah,
I
that's
just find that I don't think that more and more people are flying. I think that more and more people are not flying based upon some of the issues that are going on right now with a lot of people being in a panic and think about the remote ID and where drones are going right now. But their findings had showed stuff that would make sense to most people, that the drone there's more drone sightings in states that are, or at times where the weather is warmer than when it's colder. That would make sense. Their reportings found that there were more reportings of drone sites in larger populations, which would make sense. According to their findings, that the largest concentration of drone sightings were in California, New York, and Florida, which would make sense.
Yeah. 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 It does.
you know,
It
but
does.
as far as a drone sighting is whenever a drone is seen and is reported by, someone who is, I guess, on the ground not flying. But like I said, it doesn't take into consideration. They don't substantiate the difference between that guy's flying for a job or that guy is trying to get across to, the UN.
Right.
It doesn't say. It doesn't make that difference. And that's where their findings were with that. And as far as them fudging the numbers and saying that those drone sightings, you know a drone sighting, everybody, if I said drone sighting, I tell you what a drone sighting is, most people would say, okay, what is
Well,
he doing?
yeah. Well, like Pilot Jose told us, he says most most of the time he's at 18,000, 20,000, 23,000 feet, and he'll see a paper bag blowing by. You
Almost
know?
plastic bag.
Oh, yeah, plastic bag. The black plastic bags or the white plastic bags, and from a distance, floating in the air, they look like drones. But he said, you'd be surprised how much garbage is blowing around up there in the sky. Could you imagine? So as far as the sightings being the numbers being fudged, I have an issue with that, only because they have no real way of tracking. There was hold it, fact checking. I'm just going to read an article from this thing here. It says fact checking the FAA's drone sighting data. Says the government's accountability office report of May 2018 accurately summed the situation up. The FAA told us that most of the reports cannot be verified because a small UAS typically is not detected by radar. The small UAS pilot is usually not identified, or the small UAS or physical evidence is not recovered. FAA and some aviation industry stakeholders also told us that the reliability of many of the reports is questionable.
Okay.
And the reason I'm reading that is because we just found out recently. Remember, we thought someone shot the plane, a drone hit a plane, or just something. That plane, the fuselage, the helicopter, it missed the front and it left that big gash.
The one where they claimed recently that it was a drone.
Yeah, yeah. It's very rare that you have any evidence left like that.
Well, they claim it was a drone. They showed they lined it. They did an OJ Glove thing. They lined up the Phantom
Yeah.
and showed the Phantom arm. Could have did it and turkey. That looked
Yeah,
like a damn gunshot, man.
it did because I had no idea that a Phantom or any type of drone could survive the prop wash of a helicopter.
Well, I'm not even worried so much about the prop wash. I'm worried more about the fact that that plastic would shatter.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they claim it was a drone. That's one of the few times that they actually do. Quick summary of the drone sightings. You went into that. Fact checking. Also, hold on. Here's a striking quote from the AMA's. This is a 2017 report. But in the AMA's previous analysis, the AMA found that 3.5%, and this is going back to 2015, and 3.3% in 2016 of sightings included the explicit notation of NMAC, which is near mid-air collision or near miss. Our analysis of these newest 1,270 records released in February of 2017 showed that the same percentage of near misses in the new data, just 3.4% of the sightings in February, were indicating a near miss. So basically, if a guy is flying a plane, a pilot, and they're trained to see things in the sky or objects, and you're traveling at 250, 260 miles an hour, 200 miles an hour, and a paper bag goes by you, I doubt very much you can identify it at that speed
As a near miss?
as a near miss. Yeah,
Oh,
because
what was it? We're not allowed to call it a UFO anymore.
true. This is true. But I just figured in the UK, in the last 250 near misses reported between commercial aircraft and drones, 0 were found to have any evidence. And this
Right.
is the same
Here
thing that's
too.
happening in the FAA here in the States. Hey, Tom, I thought I saw your picture. I
You know
sent you
what's
an invite, Tom.
about that, Sean? That was also mentioned in the report because everybody still can't figure out what happened. Or was that Gatwick after they harassed
True.
the shit out of that man and his wife,
Uh-huh. Listen
roughed
to
them
what,
up in their own home and everything like that.
yeah, El
And they don't
Spankman.
even own a drone.
I know. I know. They went and raided their house and dude doesn't even own a drone. His wife doesn't. No one he knows owns a drone, but they were harassed for it. El Smeghead says, "Why call it a near miss? It's a miss. It missed. It's a miss."
Yeah. Uh,
Hey, Agent
anything
K,
that
how are
they
you?
claim that you can see is near.
I guess, I guess, but it's a topic that a lot of people, I guess, tomato the cup is half full or half empty. I guess that's how you sit near miss
Yeah.
miss. You know, either way, they were close proximity because if you missed, you had to be close enough to miss. But then not true because a miss could be out in West Bubble, whatever. But
No,
anyway,
as long as you can see it, it's a near miss.
so Justin, what are the parts you waiting for with this FR7?
Oh no, I just gotta put it together.
Oh, so you got everything then?
Yeah,
So what's taking you, man?
lazy.
Who's good? There's Tom coming in. I don't know what happened to
You know
Stevie
what?
Bronx. Let me hit him up and
I'm
see what
almost
happened to him.
positive. I'm almost positive that something that you would have called a UFO is now a drone sighting.
Yeah, probably.
Because if you can't identify it, it's no longer a UFO, it's a drone.
Right.
Gentlemen,
Hey, Tom. What's up?
how's
What's up, Tom?
how's everyone doing?
Good, good.
Justin, I haven't seen you in a while. How's everybody?
Oh, I'm good. How's everything with you?
Doing good, doing good. Herman, welcome back. How was that trip?
It was all right. You know.
It was torture.
They
It
put
was
you in
torture.
they sat you in the corner? What happened?
No. I didn't. They didn't sit me in a corner. I actually wanted to get away from them and go sit myself in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how that
I
I know
actually,
that feeling, man.
I actually did for a while. I got up. I got a shower. I got dressed before anybody woke up. I managed to wheel myself downstairs and just went downstairs and hid in the hotel lounge somewhere.
What are you gonna do with 2 good feet now? I mean, you're gonna be running marathons, bro.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
They said it'll take. I asked that, and they said, well, it'll take time. You might want to try getting a bike first.
Hey, you were talking about drone sightings. I always get a kick out of it, even though I've seen it 100 times. The drone identification chart, everything from a pigeon to a balloon is a drone.
Right.
You know. Yeah. Tell me how when you're traveling, as a man pilot, how when you're traveling at about 165 knots, I'm identifying a Mavic 2 Pro in the air.
Exactly. Now,
No,
Okay.
because he's not filming, and all of his lights are on every time.
Must be. Must be.
Well, my thing is, even if you did see one or get close enough, my issue is planes, like boats in water, spread the air apart as they're moving.
Oh, you're talking about turbulence.
Yes. So
Or
once you
wake
enter the plane's
in marine.
turbulence, I know a Mavic, Phantom, any other type of drone that I personally own would not withstand the turbulence or the wake
Well,
of the plane.
Well, it depends on where, right? I mean, plenty of bird strikes. Okay. Worst thing you can do in a Cessna 172 is have a bird strike your
Only engine.
windshield.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. It'll
No,
go right through.
Screw the engine.
It'll
Screw
go through
the
the
engine.
windshield.
Okay, because the 172's got a decent glide ratio. Okay. It's when
Okay.
it comes through the windshield and takes you out of the picture.
right, it hits you in the face.
But with drone sightings, how close can you get to a helicopter? How it's getting a little ridiculous these days because I'm sorry, if you're in downwash from a chopper, yeah, the drone's not staying airborne. You're right.
Yeah, I just
Well,
and
I just think that a lot of it is crazy because I like to deal with common
here's
sense and the
Stevie.
fact that we have a lot of conversations amongst people. What's up, Stevie? Amongst people who are not drone pilots. And the funny thing is that every one of these, see, this is what I've always said. When you have 100 witnesses, to the layman, it says, wow,
Cut your camera on.
this guy's in trouble. But when every witness has the exact same story, I'm like, wait a minute.
Scripted.
Right. So when every pilot, right, because honestly, I fly a drone and I would not take my drone
There
up
you
above
go.
and up into the
You
clouds.
turn up this background thing.
But I can guarantee you if I did that dumb shit, my camera would be on recording it because I've got to capture that. So for every pilot that has seen a drone up
It's your
that
virtual background.
altitude,
Yeah, where
it's
the hell is this?
amazing that the camera is off.
In settings, the
All the
white
lights
box.
are on. So that was why he was able to pick it up because of the green and red lights.
All right.
Must be that.
Okay.
Well, we know the green and red lights on our drones, they meet current FAA guidelines for visibility within 3 nautical miles. If that were the case, why are there aftermarket like LumaCube and those
Don't worry about it.
selling
It's fine.
lights to be compliant? Because if with my 107, okay, and I want a part 20, I want a subsection 27, which
Right on,
is
hold on.
night flight.
Hmm?
I have to turn around and I have to add lights to the drone in
Right.
order to be compliant. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can't tell me my little flashing red and green lights that come stock equipped on my DJI products meet those requirements. They do not. Therefore, pretty damn hard to see from a moving aircraft.
Yeah.
Case closed.
I agree, especially moving at 150 plus miles per hour.
Well,
Yeah.
I've done 100 miles per hour in a car, and trust me, it's pretty hard to focus your eyes on anything except straight in front of you.
Well, if you're focusing on anything but straight in front of you, you got problems if you're driving, right?
No, it wasn't me driving. I was
okay.
a passenger, but I
I
got
took
to
a-
experience. I got to experience it on a drag strip. You know,
Years
so
ago, I took a NASCAR certification course. You know,
Oh, get out.
one of those midlife crisis things. You know, so, but one
There
of
you
the,
go, Steve.
half a day in classroom before you even got in the car. You know, the first time in the car, they were modified so there was a passenger seat, and they told you to look out sideways out the window because they were trying to get you sick. Okay,
Wow.
so believe
Motion
me,
sickness.
yeah, to wash out whoever they could before they got behind the wheel. But
Wow.
yeah, you're looking straightforward. You know, in a cockpit, yes, you have a lot of time that you can look sideways and things like that. But unless that drone is within, a couple of 100 feet, you're not seeing those flashing lights. I'm sorry, it's just you'll buy it so quick,
Nah, he didn't.
Yeah.
it's gone.
There's no way.
And
he
even in a
told
small
you to
aircraft
just buy
where,
you.
yeah, even in a small aircraft where say like a Kit Fox, okay, a bush plane where you might have a stall speed of maybe 40, 45 knots, okay, you're too occupied. You're
Hey,
not paying
Furball.
attention to that. So
Jim,
Hey, Furball. Did you have any parts in Roger's video? And if so, congrats to Roger losing his popping his distance cherry. We were talking about it earlier, and I gave Roger big shout out because I kept messing with him. Like, Roger, he would go up and he'd go to the end of the property and come back, and I'm like, Roger, when are you gonna cross the street? When are you gonna cross the street? Well, Roger crossed the fucking street finally, and he did a little quarter-mile run, and I was so proud of him. It's like it's like you see the kid take that first walk across the living room without falling. That's how I felt with Roger. So it was just interesting to see a video come out and see someone else flying for once. I enjoy watching you other guys fly. I get a kick out of that because someone's always better than you and someone's always worse than you. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Stevie, man? Last time you came in, last week, it was like 5 minutes to the show,
Yeah,
to the
man.
live stream.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. You were saying you were having a problem with power or something. Let me see.
Yeah, yeah. We actually just got power right before I got on the show. Well, it was actually the internet. There was no power down the block. I had actually power, but the internet was out, so I couldn't get on, and I was moving around a little bit. When I got home, everything was up, and I just jumped on for the last few minutes of your show.
Okay. All right. Well, you're back on this week. You made it in time this week.
Yeah.
And Tom, I don't know if you heard, but what do you think about this this article that Herman was mentioning, and we were talking about the FAA fudging numbers? I'm actually going to
I
send it to you. I'm going to send
Okay.
it to everyone here to read. Hold on to this information and read it first. But
So I didn't
it's
actually catch the context. So
okay. I'll forward the link. I'll forward the link to you guys.
Basically, a drone sighting is a drone sighting is a drone sighting.
Right. They're
It
just
doesn't
talking about
substantiate whether whether or not Stevie was trying to get across to the UN or if you were shooting for a job or not.
Right.
They don't care as long as it was reported. It's reported as a drone
it's
sighting.
the way. Well, the FAA, the way they work is whatever's reported is reported.
It's the way, yeah, exactly, and that's the way they've been keeping the numbers.
Yeah.
But basically, what like Lawrence had given a little brief thing here on what I was talking about was that the has this report, and the Pilot Institute and the AMA have found that only 3% of all of the drone sightings that they claim that they found, even though you fudge the numbers.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's what.
Of them have
That's
come
kind of consistent, though. That's kind of consistent with some of the other reporting categories with the FAA. Like, look, if you're an ATP pilot, you're flying commercial and you stop into Chili's in the air terminal because you have some layover time to grab a quick burger and a Coke, somebody's going to file a claim that you were having a rum and Coke. So it still goes down as a drunken pilot. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Until it's substantiated. It's just it's the nonsense of take everything at face value and then we'll get through it at some point in time. Now, if they only had the staff to get through it at some point in time, just like those 65,000 comments, I know they're reading diligently right now. Okay.
Oh,
so
please. And out of those 65,000, how many did they just straight out deny the first time they saw a curse word?
Well, or kind of deny by the fact that they said it was a template, that all you did was copy whatever the AMA sent you and you sent it in that way. Okay.
Yeah.
But, plenty of congressmen, react to those kinds of things. I mean, how many organizations have you send this form letter, okay, to your representative?
Right.
True.
Right.
Okay.
True.
At least somebody took the energy to go through those steps.
Right. They actually deal with form letters. Like if you wanted to bring something to the attention of the Attorney General, it's a form letter.
Yeah.
You fill out.
Right. Right. Exactly. So, I have trouble saying that those should be discounted. Look, fixed wing RC pilots, you can only give them so much room. Okay. You can't give them too much guidance on what to send. So, but, us drone pilots, we have a little more moxie, so to speak. But look, the FAA takes everything at face value. Okay, everything. It could have been a Mylar balloon. It could have been 3 Mylar balloons taped together. You just lost them. You didn't make it in the door to the party.
Which
those are drones.
Which they now have deemed illegal, but I still see people launching them.
Oh, absolutely.
Anything launching groups of balloons in New York City is considered illegal. I have not seen anyone. I have not seen reports, but I do remember seeing them say that it illegal. You know how you do it in many
Okay,
of
so legality and enforcement are two opposite ends of the spectrum.
True.
Okay,
Like
what might be
jaywalking.
listed as well, again, I'm one of those people who got a jaywalking ticket in San Diego, California. Okay,
because you're from New York.
I'm from New York. I look both ways. There wasn't anything coming for a mile. I step
What-
off the curb.
What
All
do
of
you
a
got
sudden,
to
there's
say,
this guy.
Stevie?
Where you got it?
What do you
There's
got
this
to
guy
say,
in black
Steve?
leather, okay, on a Harley. I didn't even hear the bike. Where the hell did he come from? So, legality and enforcement are worlds apart.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
I do agree with you on that. I'm
On the
trying to
balloon
see.
thing, I don't think that is just unique to New York City. I think it's an FAA thing. It doesn't have to do with just New York.
Okay.
Yeah, no. It's system wide.
Okay. That's good. That's good to know. But Stevie, you're too quiet, man. You don't come on the live stream to be quiet, man. You got to jump in.
I don't
Tell us
want
to
to talk
shut up
over anybody.
sometime.
I didn't want to talk
Nah.
over anybody.
Dive
No.
right in, man.
No, you got to jump in. The Sharks will not give you a chance for a bite if you don't stick your head in there to get one.
All is good. I went to Philly as we discussed last week, and
what happened? What happened? And did you make it to the 11-story parking lot?
I made it to the parking lot. But check it out,
Dude. You could
Okay.
spit on the statue. You're so close.
Listen, I couldn't go in the parking lot because you know how they hang those plastic tubings to let you know how high you could.
What are you driving? An RV?
No, I have a Tahoe, which hit the plastic. It was
Oh shoot!
3 inch. It hit the plastic.
Dude.
So then I backed out. Let me tell you something. Philadelphia is quiet. I've been out there before a long time ago, but it's so quiet there now with the pandemic, I guess, and everything else that's going on. So anyway, I backed out. I went around the block, and then I went to Love Park. Love Park was flooded with homeless people, and I really didn't want to.
Yeah, because those people are usually down in the subway when it's cold.
Yeah. But it's unfortunate. But I didn't want to be explaining my gadgets and stuff. I could care less that they were there. But once you start pulling out cool gadgets and stuff, they start, and I can't focus when I'm flying and people talk.
Right.
I kept moving. I went around the block and I found another parking garage that was similar, but it was a little more further. It was a couple of blocks down. It was on the same strip though as the spot that you told me about.
Okay.
And I got to the roof, and once I started moving towards the actual William Penn statue, I started getting all these interference. Like real bad interference. I don't know what it over there. Yeah, it was really, really bad.
I know they have a radio antenna on top of one of those buildings in the city there in that area, but I'm trying to figure out because from that 11-story parking lot there that we told you to go to, dude, you should have parked your car on the street and took the elevator up.
Taking the elevator up.
Taking the elevator up. Seriously, because that spot it's so hot. Just looking around, you'd be like this, ooh and ah, and people be flying past you because you're still looking at where you could fly and shots you can get in angles and
yeah.
How tall is your truck? Because I have an Escalade.
And he went in, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe the little, that little shark antenna looking thing that sticks on the top. I don't know if you have the same type.
Oh, your satellite antenna?
I think the antenna hit. It wasn't the truck itself. I think that because it's thick. The antenna is about that big, and it comes like a little slant.
Right.
And I believe that hit because I opened the power roof, sunroof, and because I always do that when I go to those small garages when that plastic thing is there, and it went dunk, it hit, and I was like, oh man, I want to lose the antenna in here.
So let me ask the important question, Stevie.
Did you
have that morning that I got up?
Did you have a cheesesteak?
Shot. I didn't get the shot.
Good. Come on, man. Forget that. Well, the cheesesteak.
Stevie, you because of that, the Philly cheesesteak, you didn't have one.
I had the Geno's.
You had the Geno's. You didn't go Pat's, huh?
You had to have Pat's first.
You have
There's a
to have
reason for
something
that.
to measure it against.
No,
There's a reason for that because Pat's, dude, Pat's. Now you've been tainted.
He went to the flashy place
because Pat's is a type of place.
He went for the glitz.
Yes.
What I want to find
Guys, he took the red pill instead of the blue one.
He
I
did.
actually
He
want to
did.
find a spot in the hood, a little hole in the wall, to get a real Philly cheesesteak from.
Well,
Odds and
Pat's
odds.
is.
Well, Wickman,
Pat's is that
phone
hole in the
knows.
wall, man.
I spent a day in the hood, and I didn't see any good looking cheesesteak places. I saw a McDonald's that looked like from the 80s. Like it looked closed. It was so bad. It looked closed. When I walked in,
The good food is in the places that look beat.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
They
You know
got
what
kind of
normally
clean away.
happens? What normally happens down in Philly this weekend, and it would have been packed, Stevie, was this is usually the weekend for the naked bike ride. Okay? I ain't BSing you. Hundreds of people, okay, balls to the wall, just
Riding
they're going,
bicycles.
you know,
Glad I
it's
missed that.
Riding
it's
bicycles.
an annual thing down there, okay?
Stevie, you have to go back to Philly and do it right. You got to get on that roof. You got to get on that rooftop, and you have to go to Pat's and nothing else. I don't give a
Well,
shit about nothing else.
Pat's is the measure.
Yes,
right?
yes, you have to
Right?
use that as
Yeah.
Pat's is like, okay, all right. You remember how you had training wheels?
Yeah.
Pat's is when you take that training wheel off and you get riding, and now that's your first ride. Anything after that is irrelevant. But you've been tainted by Geno's now.
I went straight to the top, bro.
He went for the glitz.
You know
It
what
was all flashy.
I had one chance to get a steak sandwich, a cheesesteak sandwich, and I went straight to Geno's because I was like, if I start with Pat's, and then I don't know when I'm gonna come back to have the Geno's to try it out. So.
No, dude. GC, you went for the lights and glam. That's the tourist spot. That's like when you come to New York and people walk down 42nd Street, you can see the tourists because they're looking up at the lights.
See, but
Pat's doesn't waste money
He fell for the tourist trap, Tom.
Yeah, Pat's doesn't waste money on the electric bill, dude. They spend the money on the steak, okay?
Yes.
This was the whole idea of this trip. The whole idea was to do all the tourist stuff finally, because I've been to Philly so many times and I hung out with my boys off the beaten path, you know, like never in the little tourist areas. This was the first time I got to run up the stairs, the rocky stairs, and do the Geno.
Did you take a picture by the statue? We flew from the side of that museum. On the where the rocky stairs are, if you look, there are two wings on the left and right side of the stairs. The last time we were there with Billy Kyle and a bunch of guys from New York representing NYC 5 Borough. We were on the left side taking off and landing, and the Rocky statue was right in front of us down below, and people were taking. So there's a platform of stairs that goes up behind the museum. Security guard came, and she was like, man, y'all need to leave Pat's and those places alone and go into the hood and get a real cheesesteak.
Oh, yeah.
Real Italian bread.
Well, there's a lot of places. I mean, you got
there
John's Pork House. You got there's several places.
But
there,
you have to rate everything to Pat's.
Yeah, everything. That's the measure right there is Pat's.
I'm going back because I got friends out there. So
see, now you got a reason.
Now I got.
Now you can give us a review next time.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
I got a shot of a lifetime on those stairs. When we were out there and you and Billy, I think, were exchanging numbers or something, or looking up some information on the phone, and I got this nice slow motion shot of you guys talking on the staircase.
I remember you telling me about that.
Great shot. I put it in the video. It's in the video.
It's now the show now is Philly, and you've been there, Stevie, the most drone friendly city in the United States right now.
Yeah, I believe so. It was great.
You want to know how serious it is? After we came from Pat's, we were looking for a place. We were there all day. We flew like 3 spots that day. And at that night, we were on our way to go fly around City Hall, because you can fly City Hall as long as you don't take off from state property, which we were told. Okay, so you could go over to Love Park, which is across the street from City Hall.
Right there.
You can fly and you can get shots of the statue and everything at night. But where we parked at first was due to me because I had to go to the bathroom. The Philly cheesesteak ran through me. I'm not gonna lie, but where we parked, you could have literally just pulled out your drone and flew right there from the sidewalk. And
Well-
until this day, I have not flown in a city that drone friendly.
You got to keep bread
tell
in your pocket, Lawrence.
Huh?
You got to keep bread in your pocket. You can eat
What
it
were you saying,
periodically through the
Stevie?
day.
Oh, there's okay.
Oh shoot.
There's Ray. Dude right there, he's from Philly. I forget his name behind Billy Kyle. But yeah, see, that's where we were.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah,
you're
we were
right
right
behind,
there on the side, and the
right
Rocky
behind the
statue is
Rocky
right
statue.
below us.
you're right behind the Rocky statue.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
that's
I
exactly
know
where we
exactly
were.
where you were.
That's
Yeah.
and
All
you
right,
could take
you
off
see
from there and fly most of it. I mean, you want to stay away from the people over the stairs, but
You see that parking lot that you're facing right now with the
Yeah.
red floor? I flew from there. I flew around that statue, and then I flew around the museum that morning that I was
oh,
having.
dude, you didn't even go behind the museum.
No, I went behind. I went behind.
No. You need to physically go back there. and
Go
fly
behind
from-
it.
I
Oh, you
did. I took my
flew
whole
from the
family
water
back there.
behind the waterway behind the
Yeah,
museum.
there's it's the Fairmount Dam, right behind.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
I walked that whole thing. What I did was I walked around the first day. Then the next day I started hitting stuff with the drone. Just running around the city by myself.
Okay.
So I did it smart. I did my little scouting.
Did you check out the Delaware River right south of the Ben
Italian
Franklin
kitchen.
Bridge? You have the Battleship New Jersey sitting right across
Listen, they
on
had
the
a
New
special,
Jersey side.
Yep.
That's
Yes,
a
you
good
do.
spot.
They had a special event at Battleship New Jersey, and I did that ship. I did about 50% of that ship, and I was exhausted. It's like a mile and a half or something of walking in that ship.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's a big vessel.
That ship is amazing.
I've flown
never
it.
did a tour
Hey,
like that.
hey, what's up, Kurt? Blankenship, magnetic interference.
That
How are
ship-
you?
And I did
Another New York drone pilot, guys.
the Olympia. Across on the Philly side, the Olympia is one of two ships from World War One that are still afloat. It's still existing. Right
Yeah,
now.
the SS America is sitting right there also.
The one that's
They
abandoned?
use that, but yeah, troop transport.
I hit that one. That one's
Yeah.
bad. It looks like the Titanic. That one.
Yeah,
It was
It's an old
actually
vessel.
from that class. It was actually from that class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
in
from that
fact,
class of ships.
I
It
was
transported troops across the Atlantic during World War II.
I hit the Benjamin Franklin Bridge, right? And then I was staying at the Hilton, right by the water on what is something landing, whatever. It's right there. You can see the
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah,
Walt Whitman
Penn's
Bridge.
on Penn's Landing, right by the boardwalk, and they have all these little festival things, and they got the locks.
You know where they didn't let us go in.
Right, that's
Herman,
right in the area we're talking about.
because we looked like a rolling band. Guys had Inspire boxes. We had
Oh, my God.
backpacks. We went in there deep. There was like 6, 7 of us, maybe even 8.
He didn't look like a band.
That's what they thought.
No,
That's
only
what
the
they-
dumb,
Band of
stupid,
miscreants.
no, only the dumb lady at the wedding thought that we were the band. Because she saw the big boxes. She goes, "What do they have? The
She
instruments
did, she
there?"
did.
I'm like, "This is for me."
Because they were taking wedding pictures, and they take a lot of wedding pictures and reception pictures behind the museum.
Yeah.
So we had Inspire boxes, and Herman had his case with his Phantom in it, and backpacks, and everyone had cameras out and was vlogging. So the lady goes, "Are you guys a band?"
Wow.
Going into that area by the Walt Whitman Bridge, or by the Ben Franklin Bridge, I think it is, whichever one it is.
And
There's a little pier, and from that pier you can fly to the Jersey, unless you go further down, you go further south. But
on the other
they
side,
didn't let us in
river.
because we had all of this equipment, but they let us fly from the sidewalk.
Oh,
Yeah, because they didn't want. They thought we were going to come in there and do
They-
a commercial shoot.
Yeah, they thought we were going into a film crew or something. Those guys,
That
they
we
were
looked
no.
like 3 tripods and 3, 4 rolling cases. Come on, what do you think we look?
yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's going
That
around
must
like
be
this
crazy.
vlogging, and yeah,
Was Elliot with you guys?
Like? Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's why. They figured Elliot out right away.
Look at that, he was going to hit something.
See, Tom, I didn't want to say nothing, but that night,
To the bridges
the police,
this.
but check it out. We were flying from the sidewalk that night because you have the Walt Whitman Bridge. Guys are flying over the water. Guys are flying back, going up, getting shots of the city with the sun going down. And some officers came over to us. And the officer was very nice about it. He says, we got a report of a drone following a train across. So everyone was like, oh no, officer, that definitely wasn't us. We are responsible pilots and we would never, ever, ever do anything like that, which is true. He said, well, we just got a report that there was a drone hovering near or following around or following the train across. You guys seem pretty responsible. Just take it easy and stay away from the bridge. And we're like, oh, sure, officer, cool.
Didn't Billy post a few shots of
Tom's on a roll.
I don't know what you guys.
Tom is experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. I've unmuted you, Tom.
It's blowing up the spot.
Hey, Tom, you got to unmute yourself.
Blowing up.
no last names.
Okay.
Drone Flyer X.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't use
Yeah,
that.
can't
even
That's
use
right. I can't use that letter. Damn.
He probably was up there too.
He was with us. He wasn't with us that day. Oh, yes, he was.
Yeah.
He went with you
X-Factor
guys.
was
Yeah.
with us. He
Not
was
the
with us
day,
that-
not the
that
day
day.
the cops came.
Didn't he go in the B'nai B'rith bus with you guys?
Huh? No.
Oh,
Didn't he go in the
because
B'nai B'rith bus
Wait a
with you
minute.
guys?
We went
oh,
on a
he
bus.
was with y'all.
It was
Y'all forget
me.
that.
It was
The
me,
video he put out, right?
Elliot.
Terrorists, remember?
It was
Yeah,
Elliot.
First time.
Drone. Yeah, he put it. It was kind of messed up. It was kind of messed up because he was creating clickbait footage already because
Yeah.
Billy
well,
Kyle went to go talk to security because security said you can't fly from here because it's state property. So Billy was like, okay, cool.
Cool.
About a week later, a video comes out with Billy Kyle, drone terrorist, and Billy calls me and he's like, yo, Lawrence, what's up with your boy X? I'm like, what are you talking about? And he sends me the link. And I'm like, wow, dude, I'm really, really sorry about that. So I contacted Drone X Factor and a few other people contact him and it's like, yo, you can't do that with Billy Kyle. You just met him and
Wow.
it was clickbait video. To make a long story short, he did take the video down, but Billy Kyle was talking to security and they were talking calmly.
Yeah.
You see the camera come over and you see one of the security guards look up like real mean, like they're recording this shit or something. And the way the story was twisted around, it was never that. Nobody said anything about it. They said because of terrorists, no one can fly. And we understand that. You're not supposed to fly from state property anyway, or city property. But they were nice about it. And yeah, that was an interesting night.
Yesterday, I was up in the Catskills. Went up to see
Hey,
family.
what's up,
and
Hawkeye
it
Station?
was gorgeous up there.
I love
And
it.
I went. I posted something online.
Flying up there too.
I filmed this beautiful little stone church sitting there. It was gorgeous, old All Souls church. And then I went to this place called the Mountain Arboretum. And we pulled into the parking lot and I lifted up the little Mavic Mini and I wanted to get the bird's eye view and flew around a little, I'd say about 15 minutes. And then I was headed back and this gentleman came over to me and said, sir, you can't fly here. And I said, oh really? I'm really sorry. Let me just land. So I land, and I said to him, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm a 107 pilot with the FAA. And I checked the sectional maps. It's all Class G. I said, is this private property? He said, well, no, it's actually public benefit. And I said, oh, okay, no problem. I'm really sorry. Don't mean to, and then he walked over to the sign, which was right next to me. And he goes, I think it's listed here. And then he checks, he goes, no, it's not. We're going to have to update it. He goes, but it's on the website. And I said, oh, the one place I forgot to check. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And we started a nice conversation. And the guy said to me afterwards, hey, if you could send me the footage, I'd love it. Well, I was like, yeah, sure. Just strike up a conversation. It's
that simple. It's really that simple because if you let people know that you're a responsible drone pilot, for example, that night that they told us, because we just rolled up 6 or 7, however many there were of us, and they started pulling out drones and taking off right there in front of the guardhouse. And the guy comes over. Now, you know what we did?
You flying over the guards.
We didn't land. No, we didn't land. The people that were in the air, we walked our drones across the street like a dog. We went up over the street lights and went across the street. And you know what? They were perfectly cool with it. He said, you just cannot take off from here. Many
But
people come.
we travel in packs, okay, Lawrence?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the problem, right, Stevie?
Yeah.
Croton Point Park, okay?
And
There's a
packs
whole
with
pack of
cases and
us there.
boxes.
That's
Okay.
it. But I tell you,
We're hard to miss sometimes.
Hey, Val.
Sorry.
Okay, that's the problem,
In
right?
fact, one time, you remember, Herman, we were in Love Park one day, and we were having another NYC Fibro meetup, and the bikers, there were at least 150 bikers and ATVers riding around the city. And I was like, yo, Billy, where are the police? He's like, yo, they can do it. It's legal. They were stopping traffic, and this horde of bikes and everything came by. And I have never seen a police officer on a bike.
Next year, mark it on your calendar, the naked bike ride. We have to have a 5-borough meetup, right, in
we
Philly.
mark it on the
Next
calendar.
year.
We could
Naked
avoid it.
bike ride.
You need to catch that next year.
Make sure we don't go there by
I got
accident.
one for you. You're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one. Newtown, right? Over in Newtown, right? 5 Boroughs is having a drone meetup in B-class airspace.
Is
Yes.
B class over there?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my god. I saw that and I clicked on it too.
Tom,
Well,
calm
yeah, go
down.
ahead.
Calm down, because I see
Don't
the
mute
face.
me.
Your
I'm
facial
good. I'm
expressions can't hide it. Just take a deep breath and let it out slowly, because this is a very serious problem. It's a very serious problem, because I saw the same. I was invited. I'm still in the group, and I immediately looked at it. I haven't had a chance to speak with Herman about it, but I was going to ask him, did you see the new meetup that they're having in Five Borough? And now that the topics come up, I have nothing to say.
Well, you know what? The problem that I have right over there now is the fact that
What's up,
that's a
Val?
speed ramp up area for the seaplanes now.
Yes.
Okay. So they come across from 23rd Street, they taxi into Newtown Creek now,
Mhm.
and then that's where they do their rev up, and they start to come out of there. So it's
I've seen it.
you got to
I've
be
seen
there
it.
super early. I mean,
I've seen it.
is it Class B? Well, it might not. Well, I got to check the sectionals to see if they've been changed. The latest version came
Class
out,
B
I
is
think, a
changed.
month or two ago. Whether it's B to surface or not, okay? But remember that East River and the Hudson River are SFRA spots, special flight rule spots. So unless you can communicate, okay, on radio,
Well, we know they don't use radios,
If you
so
go-
stop it.
well,
If you go to,
but still, you got to communicate on an aviation.
They don't even
frequency.
yell
I'm looking at the
altitude.
picture that
They
they
don't.
posted.
They don't
right?
even
If you
yell
go to-
altitude, so stop it.
If you go to 2 Blue Slip, right across at the end of Franklin Street,
Mm-hmm.
right next to it is a NYCHA building going up. That's that crane that he's showing in that picture.
Well, that in fact, if you go to Google Maps and you do a street view right now, they still show the old construction, like the park wasn't even done yet.
Right. The
Okay.
park is
But
empty.
that's all built out now over
Right. Google
Yeah, the
Maps
park
is
is
usually
finished.
off. Google Maps is
But
usually
it's
off
still
for
in-
terrorist
it's still in
reasons for 2 to
B-class
3
state.
years.
I'd like to know where they're gonna fly from.
Well, it's supposed to be right off that coastal line. They have like a little
At the
picture.
end of
There's a
Franklin
pier.
Street.
There's a little walkway that goes
there. Yeah,
around
it's
the
a
whole
little
perimeter.
walkway right there.
Yeah, there's a walkway that goes around the whole perimeter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean,
I'm
it's not
checking the
impossible.
latest sectional, but I don't know.
I'm just saying what it is, what I know it is over
Hey Val.
This is supposed to be, and this is supposed to be this weekend coming up, or in 2 weeks.
Next a week from today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming.
Okay. Well, I wish them luck. I just
Bring your
I'm
running
just not
shoes.
cool. I'm
Bring your
just
running
not
shoes.
cool with the
Quick, tell me
Class B
your running
I
airspace. Is it surface? What's do you have
No,
an
it's
idea,
not.
Tom?
It's not surface. It actually isn't surface over there. There's a small section right there that's 1,100 feet to 7,000. But realize that's the space over the river.
Yes, the
Okay.
water.
I know.
Yes.
I know where it is. I have it on Google Earth right now.
Yeah, you have to take off from a boat, okay? But to be completely legit, but then you got to be able to broadcast on UCOM. So, you know, because basically when you enter the SFRA space, whether it's Hudson, once
Are
you
you
cross that
looking on
VZ,
Sky? Are you looking on Sky Vector?
no, I'm actually on the FAA sectional maps.
Okay.
I download them. I have a subscription. Okay. So I'm getting the maps beforehand, but this is the one that's out right now.
Mhm.
And you have to be able to broadcast on and announce yourself. That's the whole thing with that SFRA. And there's 3 different zones to fly from. Okay. This is
I'm
how the
gonna
helicopters fly through that. Remember, Class B for sightseeing.
Tom, I'm gonna
But
need you to send me
yeah,
a link so I can how much is it? How much is the fee?
this I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up.
Send me the link anyway in
Yeah,
DM when you get a
yeah,
chance, please.
yeah.
I that
Yeah,
that
but looking at the sectional right now, it there's that sliver, between the East River section, just from basically Roosevelt Island Lighthouse down,
mm-hmm.
which I got a pointer that's telling me 70 over plus 11. So it's 700 feet to exactly 11,000 feet.
11,000. Okay.
Yeah. So,
So that's the
I
class
believe,
B. That's the class B airspace from 700 to. That's what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Okay.
700. So, uh, to their credit, they did, and looking at it, they did list it as maximum altitude 300.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know,
enough for me. That's enough for me.
yeah, no, I know. But the only thing you got to worry about is that's right next to that Newtown Creek. I'm just hoping that anybody that attends, and not saying I might not go out there, but anyone that attends, just be cognizant of the fact that you have seaplane traffic that's coming
We're
in and
used
out of
to
that
it.
river.
We're used to
Okay.
yeah that
Well,
Yeah.
area.
And also transiting from 23rd
Thanks,
Street
Mia
over,
Drone.
to the creek.
well,
So
from
you got to
right
be
there in
careful.
front of the playground, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be very hard to fly right there by Greenpoint Playground because 2 blue slip is too damn tall, and in your face, you're going to have to
Mm-hmm.
move away from it to be able to fly it, to be able to fly that area. You're going to have to move away from those two tall structures.
The one on the left and one on the right.
Right,
Yes.
because the park
Yes.
is too close.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
right. You're right in between.
The
You're
part-
going to have to move up the street to be able to do it. I know the area well because of my
People-
video that I shot.
We've flown from there, but from
That video I put up flying blue slip.
before it was developed, we flew from there while they were developing it.
I flew from there since they finished the building.
Oh, that's true. You've flown there afterwards.
It's actually NYCHA housing.
Wow.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, what
it'll
did they
be
make some of that?
That's
Yeah.
exactly where we were at, Matt. That's exactly where the meetup is, and at that part.
now
where the
see,
ice
my
cream truck
problem
was.
is, and I'm gonna share a screen. Can I share a screen? I'm gonna share a screen for a second.
Can you
I
share
want to show
screen?
you guys. I want to show you guys
Hold
my
on,
problem.
Let me enable share screen.
Yeah. I want to show you guys my problem with flying in this spot. Okay, this is the area where they're talking about flying, as you see on the map, right? Here are 2 blue slip. Here's Hunters Point Park. Right
You see that
across
building?
here
It grew up.
is the UN. If I zoom out, this is the UN right here in the center of the screen. They are right here where this empty lot is.
Well, that's not really an
Where I
empty
put
lot
that.
anymore. It's
Well,
a park. And where they
Yeah, there's
show,
nothing empty down there now.
right, where they show it, they show
yeah, right,
over
right,
in front
right.
of the building where Greenpoint Playground is on the end of the triangle at the end of Franklin Street.
Yes.
And the building next to where it shows a construction site,
Mm-hmm.
it done grew up already.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
People
All
are
of that's
living in it
filled in.
already.
All of that's that whole
People,
area.
It's all
is filled
built
people
in.
up
are
now.
living
Yeah.
in the building already.
Yeah.
Well, that should
I
be
mean, you
kind
got
of
to get out
interesting.
there super early. You know,
I mean,
I know the
it's not
seaplane
impossible.
traffic.
I wouldn't have set up a meetup from over there because it is in B class space, you know, and when you start talking about getting, because it's going to ask you for approval.
True. True. Even though you're below the
I'm
Class B
curious to
airspace,
see
it's still
how
going to
many
ask you for
hobbyists going to get
approval.
locked out over there.
Yeah,
Well,
that sliver. Yeah, again, that sliver is 700 to.
you said 700 to 11,000.
Yeah.
Because if we go into, let's check out Lance. Let's see what Lance says from Air Maps.
So Stevie,
Yes.
what projects you working on, man? I know you see you're one of these people that I love to watch your work, but my problem is you're like Invincible Dawn. You don't put out work until weeks later or months later or years later.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I know you be getting footage, man.
I know. I know.
I know you be getting footage.
I get footage, but yeah, my schedule wraps around my family. So the editing time and all that stuff, I do it when I can.
Yeah, look at that,
Need
Tom.
approval.
Look at that, Tom. You
You
need
need
approval.
Lance
Yes,
approval.
you need approval.
Fly there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the only reason I'm
It's
asking,
actually
Stevie,
1,100 to 7,000 feet, and then above that, yeah, it's I don't know.
I guess
Look.
that maybe is gonna be a can't make it.
We've flown from Hunters Point
fly,
Park, but then again, it was still building up. But you know,
right now that Hunters Point Park is filled with people, they
Yeah.
are. That Herman and I were there.
I'd
This
like to say that me and
park
Lawrence were
lady
the ones
said,
that broke that
"Oh
park.
no, you
Yeah.
can't fly here.
Me and
If
Lawrence
the
broke that park.
supervisor comes through, you'll get your drones." I mean, she was just a sweeper.
Lawrence and I broke
Yeah,
that
yeah.
park.
yeah,
What's that, Herman?
Lawrence and I were the ones that broke that park.
Yes.
Before it even opened,
Before it
found
was
it and flew
open,
in there.
we got to fly
Yeah.
that park. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
that I used to fly over there when it was still the Daily News plant.
Oh, get out of here. Wow. Wow.
We flew some crazy little crap over there. I mean, but you know, now we drove by there. I would say about 4 or 5 days ago, the wife and I, and COVID or not, that place is wall to wall people now.
Is the
Wall
school
to wall people.
is the
Remember when
school
you drove
finished,
by there, you
Tom?
wouldn't even have
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
school
But they
is
still
finished?
have all the
Floor slide.
scaffolding up.
But the school is finished though, basically.
Yeah, but
Is
they
it-
have all the scaffolding up now, and actually, it's down to one lane coming around that little curve
Yeah,
there.
all the way around. Because when
Yeah,
Herman,
yeah.
my last time I went there with Herman, they were putting up the steel girders of that school.
Right.
That's how
Right.
long ago I've flown.
Yeah.
I've flown from that area. But
So you've been
Yeah, the
there.
other place was you're talking about directly across from the UN, but 44 Drive, the pier used to be a seafood restaurant right there that closed up, and there's a pier right there. That was a spot to fly from, but again, it's all built up down there now. Got nothing but high rises down there.
he said with
Fun.
COVID going, it's as if it never existed over there, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's
Because you get some
wall to wall.
incredible views of Manhattan, especially at
Oh,
night.
it's spectacular.
At
Except for
nighttime,
some of
you
those buildings that were called City View and Manhattan View, and now they're nothing but another building view
yeah,
because they built something in front of it. So
Yeah,
those people who dropped some serious change on
Hey,
those city
off
skyline
axis.
views, and now there's a 45-story building in front of them.
Off Axis says, "What's a girl from Idaho in a group chat with a bunch of New Yorkers?" Hi, Val.
That's called a
I
brave
love
girl.
my New Yorkers.
Yeah,
Why?
see,
A girl
Val.
from Idaho and a group of New Yorkers.
Yes.
I'm only got one alone.
No comment.
What, Mr. Herman?
Nothing.
Leave that one alone.
The views and opinions that are heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel and or in the chat tonight. Okay, I get it out my system.
Yankee hat.
Yeah, somebody's got to send her a Yankee cap. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'd send her a Mets cap, so I'm probably outnumbered here. Okay.
Well, listen, it's the Mets might have had a chance this year with COVID.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, this was the
I'm going to
best
blame
season
everything
for
on
the Mets.
2020.
Huh?
This was the best season for the Mets. All you had to do was tell the Mets we're going to play the full game season and then lie around game 40 and tell them it was only a 60-game season.
Yeah, we can only
The
play
Mets would
half
have
the
a
season,
magic
Herman.
number.
Herman,
Every
I'm a
season-
Mets fan. We can only play half a season.
Every season by game 60, the Mets are way ahead of everybody.
No, Herman. It's usually we're having a fantastic first end of the season,
True.
or
You can
we're having a
pitch
great
like
end of the
nobody's
season,
business.
and we come up too short. Okay, look, my old man was a Brooklyn Dodger fan. I can't be a Yankees fan. I'm sorry. It wasn't destined to
No,
be.
that's understandable. And Stevie, you in the Bronx. I know you with the Yankees.
Yeah, Yankees all the way.
Well,
You
that
gotta
hat's
be-
backwards, so I'm wondering what's on the other side.
You know what?
He said his hat's
At the time when I
backwards.
grew up, there
But
wasn't
what-
nothing good to say about the Mets. So,
This-
you know,
We had
I
two
was
good
a
years.
Yankees fan.
Hey, I've had 2 good years. What can I say?
Look, Val's here.
Okay.
Matt says me too. The amazing.
Yep, those bombs.
Listen, you
Them
want to know
bombs.
what? You know why I am a Mets fan, but it's more undercover. But I remember my grandfather on the weekends, me sitting on his right lap, and in his left hand he had a Chesterfield and a Schaefer beer, and the ashtray.
Chesterfield
And I
Canes,
would,
my
yep,
father
and
too.
I would sit in his lap and watch the Mets game with him.
My
Not
uncle
realize-
delivered Schaefer
Sorry.
beer.
Yeah.
So
Oh, get out
yes,
of here.
my father the same thing. Yep. I actually, so I'm so damn old that my father actually brought me to a Mets game at the Polo Grounds.
Oh,
Oh,
now
wow.
keep telling us that,
Yeah.
Oh wow. See,
that
that's
he worked at the factory was over on Kent Avenue.
My uncle, that's where he worked, and I had another uncle who worked for Rheingold. So you know what those family events were like. Okay.
Now, you know what, Lawrence? When we had our senior picnic when I was in college,
yeah.
we pulled up a Budweiser truck, and the guy jumped out and started putting these little taps on the side of the truck.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is heaven. They gave everybody 2 cups.
Oh,
The good old days.
That's something else. Val, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much.
Val.
Yeah.
I must tell you, Roger did his
Roger's
thing.
Video? Did you see
Yeah,
Roger's
Roger,
video?
did you see Roger's video?
No.
It is a printer, Justin. You were holding out. You lied.
You got
I
a
knew you brought
printer?
another.
Just clean it up.
Yeah, but getting back to Roger, Val,
Go see Roger's
he
video.
did his thing with the video. Did you see that video?
Zooming in as he's moving.
No,
Across
haven't seen
the
that one
field.
yet.
Roger's coming across the field, coming up to the house. I'm like, he
No.
didn't fly home, did he?
What it was, I never realized he was flying home because I'm like, oh shit, Roger's flying. Oh wow, he's doing pretty good. Nice little flight there. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's Roger's house, which means he had to fly there to get the shot flying back home.
I was on Zoom.
I was like
He
this.
was screaming.
I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy just to see Roger fly, man. I
was
enjoy seeing
talking
drone pilots.
about-
It's not Roger. I enjoy seeing drone pilots fly.
So I was talking to Kim, and Kim looks out the window and he goes, "What the hell? No, Roger, no. What are you doing? Are you flying that home? Is that what I'm seeing? Oh my God, no. What are you doing?"
What did he? So Kim had no idea that he was out there flying.
Not that he was going to fly home from where he was. So I got the blow by blow of everything that was going on. It was pretty cool.
I got to check out the video. I've been out of the loop.
It's you know what? I'm like this. I don't care if you go like this and you go up and you hover and you come back down. I want to see the progress. Just like people were telling me with FPV, they
I
wanted
could
to see
put
the
out a video
progress.
like that.
You know what kept me from flying for so long, FPV? I was buying garbage. When people told me to go to A, I went to B because B was more cost effective. But in the long run, I wound up going to A anyway.
Right.
Had but and so my point in saying that is, if you want a camera drone or you want an FPV drone, and it's a certain price, and
Don't go to
people
Bang You
are
Good.
right, and people are telling you to go in this direction. I know what it means to want what you want when you want it. Hold off a little bit. Just hold off and wait to get what's right.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when, and Novice, I haven't always had money and I don't right now, but when you don't have it and you see these beautiful flying birds, I mean, you want them. You want them.
Mhm.
So you do have to save up a little and let it go. Because I just got, I got, I think 6 weeks ago, a Mavic, my first
Right.
DJI, and it was a Mavic Air 2. But you know what? I was so embarrassed because I couldn't update it, so I haven't been flying it.
Yeah,
And then I went on with Paul and them, and they were trying to help me. And they took like an hour, then we got off. And finally, I just thought, why do I have this if I cannot do it? So I ended up going through a lot of videos of people who were saying they could help, but of course, they were saying the same thing everyone else. And then I got on Flight Pass video, and he goes, if your network
Aldrin
is not
Stasi. Yeah.
letting you do it, go to cellular.
Yeah.
And I
right.
went, are you flipping kidding me? So I
Aldrin's
turned
good
off
people.
my
Yeah.
Wi-Fi,
Oh,
updated like that.
okay,
Yeah.
Val, you can go into the whole DJI store and all that other stuff and get support and get your download for your assistant
Assistant,
tool for
yeah,
your
wouldn't do
drone.
it. It still wouldn't do it. Paul,
Well,
everyone we were working on, it just will not. It kept saying network error. And the thing is, I have really good internet, and it just kept saying network error, network error. I just couldn't
Then
get it
the
to
well,
problem
work.
the
might be
internet,
on the
that
DJI.
sounds like the internet was there but not fast enough. Because what happens now with technology and devices, it will time out. Remember, we used to click a button and watch the buffering,
Yes.
and that would go for a minute or two, and we thought that was fast. Well, now pages and apps time you out in anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. If it doesn't
Yeah,
have
I think I have
communication,
52 up and 400 download.
Okay,
52 up is still more than
Val, but what I'm
enough.
saying is
Yeah.
downloading Assistant 2. You were having the trouble downloading Assistant 2.
No,
Is that it?
that went just like that.
You have Assistant 2 into your computer.
Yeah.
That's
So
what you use to
how are you
update.
having such a problem updating through Assistant 2? You're plugged into it.
It still would not do it. It still said error. It just would not do it. And I've been trying all this different stuff, and I thought I cannot tell all the guys. I just can't even figure this out because now I feel stupid.
Don't feel
So-
stupid. Just keep I would try it again or try to 86 that download of Assistant 2 and do it again.
Yeah. And what now? Hold on. Are you doing it from a laptop or a desktop?
Laptop. I don't have a desktop.
Uh,
It looks like that.
So Val, don't feel stupid because I spent, I don't know, 2 weeks trying to update the sensors on my Phantom, and I kept on trying.
Matt says
I
it means you're
chased the screen.
firewalled.
Yeah, it could be firewall, but I chased the dots on the screen. And it wouldn't work. It kept on failing, and then I realized I have a curved screen, and for some reason that made a difference.
Yes,
The second
it
I
does.
did it on a laptop, it took right away. But yeah, Matt does have a good point. The way the firewall is set up could be causing some of the problems. Depends also on who your provider is.
It used to be Cable One, then it became Sparklight because they changed names all the time. to make you think you're getting better service, but you got the
You
same
never are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
provider.
We have somebody called Spectrum here. Used to be Time Warner, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so yeah, no, we
We
got
just
that.
cut the
We got
umbilical
that.
cord from them.
Can't fuck
Yeah.
with them dudes.
But even when I first got mine, it would not update just the original update that I needed. And so I kept thinking that pretty soon this thing's just gonna fly away from me. It won't be coming back. So every once in a while I take it out, try to do it, wouldn't do it. So I finally started putting all my cards away. Because I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But then yesterday I just thought, okay, this is
Have
not
you-
okay. Not okay. I have
Now,
$1,000
here's a
crown. I
question.
can't fly with it.
$1,000 product.
Here's
Right?
the question, Val. Your laptop, is it wireless, plugged into the internet, wireless or hardwire?
Well, yesterday I did both. It is wireless, but I have
When doing that update,
I
you should
have
be
this.
plugged in. You should be plugged in hardwire. And the reason is the time lapse that it takes to go through that wireless card and look for the signal. Trust me, hardwire, when you're doing any kind of update, you should be hardwired in.
yeah, I had the hardwire. I tried that. It just
Are you
didn't
back
want
in
to do it.
business now? Are you
Yep.
able to fly it now? Oh, good.
Well, yeah, it was too hot. I slept 12 hours. I didn't get up till almost 1. I don't know what the hell. And by then it was 90 degrees out here. And
Hey,
it's,
welcome
it's
back,
over
Michael.
100. So I don't know. So tomorrow morning, no matter what happens, I'm out.
Yeah, watch. Just Val, be very careful. DJI is notorious for battery issues, especially in very, very hot weather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why I don't want to fly it. Like I can't fly it now because we have one of those. What do they call it? The heat warning thing out.
Yeah,
Extreme heat.
Yeah.
Heat advisories.
the
Yeah.
heat advisories.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have to be out first thing in the morning to make that work.
Yeah, our other residents out in Vegas right now is going to be averaging 112 degrees over the next 5
Yeah,
days.
because Hadley,
Wonderful.
my boy Hadley from Hadley's Famous, he's out trying to catch the haboob tonight. It's predicted
Yeah.
to actually, he's working with the BBC. They've hired him as a freelance to record it. And him and about 2 other pilots are out actually trying to chase that storm now.
So the problem is he's over in the Mojave, and that's about $120. Okay, so you
Yeah.
better check in on him. He might spontaneously combust. Okay?
And he took like 30 batteries, man. Because his FPV bird, Tom, I fly 1 4-cell. He made his bird an 8-cell. So every time he
Wow.
flies, he's
Wow.
flying with 2 batteries. Have you ever seen what happens to a LiPo battery that explodes on impact?
Yes, I've
Okay.
seen LiPo batteries
Okay.
fully
Um,
combust.
It's and with the heat alone out there, that's an issue because they heat up while being
Yes.
used.
And the problem is they're extremely difficult to extinguish.
Yes, because they're burning, they're feeding on the oxygen, the chemical in the oxygen.
Yeah,
It's a chemical
it's a
reaction.
chemical reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, magnetic. I'll do that.
And the
See, I have,
cells.
I have 3 of these, and they're all now charged, and I charge them the way they said do them by himself. I recharged them up yesterday. What a mess.
To
But I
be
got 'em
honest,
done.
Val, what you should do is take 2 of those batteries, put them in your drone, and put those batteries in the storage mode and just work with 1 battery. Because what happens is in the heat, you're charging those batteries. When you charge a battery, you must use that battery or drain it and put it back in storage mode. Too
Yeah, you
many
can't.
people-
You know, the Mavic Mini's nice because you can leave those little suckers charged. They're in the bag. They're ready to go. But I'll tell you, the Mavic, the Mavic 2 Air, the Mavic 2 Pro, those batteries you charge the night before. And if you don't go out and fly, then you better discharge them before you pack them away for the week or 2 because they'll swell on you. And unfortunately,
as well. The phantom batteries as well. You have
phantom
charge.
batteries.
When you know you're gonna fly, charge. I'm not a battery expert, but also if you're flying around, when you use 1 battery, don't pack it up right away.
You got to leave it out.
Yeah, don't stick it in the bag or in your carrying case and have it all trapped up and come flying.
Right.
You got to let that battery breathe. Put in the new battery. and fly it, and so on and so on. The more batteries you use, the more you put to the side, but don't pack them up right.
Absolutely.
When I drive home and I have the AC blowing or what have you, the
You have
batteries
them out
are
on the
sitting
seat.
there. You know, they're
Yeah.
not in the bag, they're not in the rolling case or whatever I had that day. You have to let them. I don't know the whole science to it, but I try to do a little bit of prevention, at least, you know, from what I see on the internet and here and there. But the batteries,
Care and feeding, Stevie.
yeah,
Care and feeding.
yeah.
Right? Well, the big difference between the Phantom batteries and the Mavic batteries,
They had the
when
vent.
your Phantom battery swells while you're flying, your aircraft still flies.
Yep.
Okay? When a Mavic battery swells while you're flying, the two latches that connect it to the Mavic give
Will
way,
pop out.
Yep.
and
Oh.
they fall to the earth just a few seconds apart from each other.
If you remember,
okay?
if you remember, they had that issue with the Spark. The Spark had the latches on the Spark were causing it to. Metro Jones, thank you so
There
much
you go,
for the super
Metro.
chat. We
Thank you,
appreciate you
Metro.
ever so much. You and everybody else that comes to Sunday nights with those guys and Wednesday nights with those guys. We appreciate it. As long as we can share what we have with you guys and somebody hears us, it makes it that much more worth it.
Click the thumbs up button.
But Tom, you're right about that. Batteries, the battery technology isn't as advanced as it should be.
And that's really what's going to blow this market away is that. I mean, my big issue with DJI, and I said it to him in no uncertain terms, was, hey, we know you don't make your own batteries. Just admit you got a problem with your supply chain.
Right.
That's all. Come on now, just get in front of it. That's what a reputable vendor does. They get in front of it. The heartache I had with these batteries, it's just, look, I'm 8 batteries into this
and they're
Mavic 2
not getting
Pro.
any cheap, and they're not getting any cheaper.
That and what actually makes the battery work is what the problem is. You got to remember, a battery is an actual science project. You're mixing up two chemicals together to try to get the energy out of these two chemicals that you mix together that don't like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? With lithium batteries, and this is I did a lot of research on batteries, and lithium batteries. The great thing about it is, like in the RV industry, you want to switch to the lithium batteries. They're almost 4 times as expensive, but a lithium battery, say a 200 amp hour battery, you can drain down to almost 90%. And not affect the battery. Whereas with a dry cell or AGM battery, you can't go below 50%.
You would damage it.
So you'll damage it. So, the technology is getting better and better and better, but you gotta do things methodically. You really do with these batteries. That was the part that a lot of people are leaving out in the mix. You're charging up your battery saying, I'm going to go out this weekend and fly. You get a rain out. Then next weekend you're busy, and then 2 weeks from now, your batteries are rocking back and forth on a flat surface because they started to swell on you.
They're starting to belly out. Yeah.
Yeah. And once that happens, it is not worth the risk of putting your drone up with a slightly swollen battery. A slightly swollen battery at takeoff is probably a disconnected battery before you get to land.
Yeah.
Well, the Phantom, when they swell up,
they swell inside.
You can't get them out.
Yeah,
you got them out.
You're yanking it. You're holding both buttons, and
you know what I learned to do during that time? I did have one swollen battery, and I noticed.
Thanks,
Plummet, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. What's up, fellow FPV heads out there? What I've come to find out is that swollen battery should have never been put in there. And I keep saying, I'm going to get a flight out of it. And you know what's worse, Tom? Because it's a swollen battery, I'm like, well, she's insured. So if anything happens, and I should not be thinking that way.
No.
I should not be thinking that way, but I don't do it anymore.
If you discharge within a day or so, you should be good. Okay? Now, it's how you discharge. There's a couple of different ways, by the way. There was a device you could attach to your Mavic batteries that you could hook up a cell phone, or you could hook up something else and drain it. Okay? Otherwise, depending on some of the chargers out there, some of the chargers had a discharge capability on them as well. But
Right.
again, I think what they're selling with the Mavic 2 Air, you can do nothing but charge. Okay. And you shouldn't come back. We got a lot of friends here that we fly with
Preach. I know what he's about to say.
that use it. It's a badge of courage to land with 1% of battery left. Don't leave it that way, because you are also going to cause problems.
Damaging the cells, and also
yeah,
another way you and Val, this is why, Val, I'm talking to you
Tickling the
directly.
battery and
this is-
bottoming it out the battery.
This is why I told you to
Yeah.
discharge those 2 batteries and only use 1 battery, because what's going to happen is you're going to fly that battery and be so excited and so amped that you may not fly those other 2 batteries. So by discharging them, you have this 1 battery. What's the battery life on the Mavic Air 2? What, 28 minutes, 30 minutes?
Yeah, figure you're going to get a good
take.
25
Okay.
out of it.
I don't fly fast, so it
Val,
lasts
but this
me
is what I'm
long.
saying, Val.
no.
For you to have 3 batteries charged in 15 minutes of flying, you're gonna go, damn, I still got half a battery. And that happens a lot.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. When I switched from 3DR Solo to DJI, I was taught the 3DR Solo battery was advertised at 15 minutes. With air, wind, circumstances, you got about 11, 12 minutes. I went from learning how to shoot videos and get scenes in 11 minutes, 10 minutes time, to now having a full half hour. So what I was doing was I was actually getting enough footage for 2 freaking videos in 1 battery, because that's how I was trained, So
Yep.
what I'm saying is, if you have a 30-minute battery and you have 3 of them, more than likely, you're just learning how to fly that bird. You're not going to burn those other 2.
I think I'm going to go out. The only time I'll be able to go out tomorrow is the morning, because I want to go out before it starts hitting like 85 and up.
I like flying in the morning too when it's cooler.
Lower. Oh, I'm going to have to go, but I wanted people to know. I don't know if anyone cares about this stuff, but I have this. I just got it, and it's a giveaway. So.
Oh, very nice.
So for someone who doesn't have one, or one of those things, I want them to know I have a couple things they have to do. They do not have to be subscribed to me. But anyway, I'll discuss it tonight on my
the
show.
Bugs 3 is a very good drone.
That's what I hear, and I have like 3 FPV drones, and I have the Phantom, and I have the Mavic, and so to get even more is too much. I'm going to have so much anxiety over this, and I got it yesterday, and all I could think was, I'm giving this away. So it took a couple months to get here from Bang You Good.
Bang You Good?
Yeah, so I am.
I have a problem with. Go ahead, Val.
So the only thing I'm asking is that, they have to do a couple things, and then just like watch a video, comment, and then just pay for shipping.
Okay, understandable.
COVID, it wasn't COVID, I just said that. But
Hold on, Michael Blade.
Yeah.
I have a problem with my Mavic 2 Pro. While flying at full speed, sometimes it studded, so as if it took my thumb off the stick. Any
So he's
idea
getting,
what that could be? That's that could be a few things.
No, so what sometimes happens is you're pushing
Val.
down on
Val.
that stick. Val, take care. And by the way, they'll probably get that drone a lot quicker than you got it from Bang You.
Yeah. That's true.
So
it could be a number of things, Michael Blade.
A lot of times when you have the sticks pegged, it reads it as the sticks get out of calibration, and it wants you to zero the stick back. I've had it happen a couple of times where I was chasing a watercraft, trying to get my shot, chasing the watercraft for a paying customer, and all of a sudden I get the stick calibration error in the upper left-hand corner, and she just stops moving. I've had that happen a couple of times to me. So it could be a number, like Lawrence said, it could be a number of different things.
Right.
But that I've encountered more than once.
It depends on circumstances. I've even seen a drone I've seen a drone go from flying in the light, and just because you change the angle too fast, the shade, the lighting affect the
Direct
sensors.
sunlight.
Yes.
Direct sunlight can be seen as an obstacle.
Yes, it will affect the
Okay.
sensors.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know. I've never. You guys have this problem with the Phantom 4 Pro. If your camera's angled too low and you're moving forward and that leg gets it's a number of things that cause your drone to stop.
Well,
You tilted, if your drone is pitched too much down and it catches the shadow from itself, that's an obstacle.
Plummet, don't think you're a noob, because listen, I was flying a long time, and one problem I had once was I landed my Phantom 4 Pro, and the way the camera hangs from its underbelly, where I landed, there was a little rock and it screwed up my gimbal. So after I got that repaired, okay, it wasn't a crash landing or anything, it was a controlled landing, but I didn't realize there was a little rock there. So then after I got it repaired and went through that heartache, I saw online that they had a gimbal protection thing that clipped between the two legs.
Oh, yeah.
Now
yeah,
one day I'm out flying and I got it down to 100 feet ready to land, and she would not land.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? You know?
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm going to have to get one of those old fire brigade, trampolines to try to catch this sucker.
Yep, because it would
she's
not
gonna
go
go-
any lower. It would not
Right.
go
So what
lower.
I did was I put it in sports mode. I tilted her forward and started doing a corkscrew until I got it down to about 5-6 feet. And then I grabbed her. And then I took off that thing and I flung it as far as I could. Okay.
Tom, I had to get it down. I had to take it back out and bring it down on an angle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right down towards the ground at an angle.
Same thing, right?
Because
Yeah.
every time I
didn't think
reached
I
up
had
on the
enough
drone, it
battery
kept
for
pulling
that.
away from me.
Yeah. I couldn't get it below 100 feet. It was driving me
Yeah,
crazy.
we
Like,
stopped.
what am I
That
doing
thing was
wrong?
causing the drone to bob.
Yeah.
Right. That
Yeah.
gimbal guard, you're right. Those lower sensors under the Phantom will do
Yeah.
that. And it doesn't matter if you slide it forward or slide it back.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
I took that. I
On
think
her,
it came with.
There,
it
right
works
there.
Yeah.
great on her because she doesn't have any sensors down here.
Right. On
Yeah,
the Phantom
well,
3.
Yeah.
The sensors on the bottom sees this thing as the ground
Yep.
and keeps
Right.
pulling it away from the ground.
Yeah. So don't worry about being a noob, okay? We often feel like that each time we fly when something new happens.
I didn't purchase that item because of Tom. I was at a meetup one time and Tom told me the story. I was like, well, I won't be buying that. Take it off the wish
Saving a few bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, glad you made it back, Drone Worship, but we're about to call it a night. Guys, Sunday Nights with Those Guys has been sponsored by Those Guys. We appreciate you all. We appreciate all of the super chats. We appreciate the support that you give us to our channels every week, weekend, when you can make it, when you can't make it. We appreciate the replays because we get a lot more replays than we actually get people in the chat, which I find amusing, but I love it anyway. Anyway,
Guys,
everyone
I don't
have a
know what
great
Val's
evening.
like,
Don't
guys.
forget to check out Paul Murray's show, 5 p.m. tomorrow night on his channel. Phantom Flight 101 on Wednesday nights. Val is going live. She's actually live now. I just got the alert. So if you want to show some love and transfer over there, go for it. I'm going to go have dinner. But we appreciate you guys. Thanks for the support. And Herman,
See you guys later.
there we
Take
go.
care, everyone.